Hey everybody and welcome into this video, and in this video we will be checking out the best vehicles in Greenville Roblox for under $5,000. This is basically just for those beginners that are trying to upgrade from or for their first car. They're trying to upgrade from their first car to a good one, but they don't have a lot of money, or they're saving money for something else. They need a better car to grind for that money. And so the first section we have is hatchbacks. And the first hatchback I have selected is a 2000, let me see, I have two of these, same different trims. 2005 Sumo Woodlands X. This comes in at
$2,008
amount of money, but it feels exactly the same or near the same to my other sports edition, which is the top of the line version of this car, and I like that one a lot, and so that means I like this one a lot. I don't like the black trim, but it's a really new model. I just like the way it handles, and let's listen to it start. Yeah, but this thing handles amazing, got good pickup, and it's only yeah, it's really cheap, and it's kind of an SUV. And so that's the first vehicle. Really good braking. That one's probably one of my favorites, but the next one is a 2008 Volkswagen Sprint, which is quite new considering that you can get this for like $5,000 on the point. Really had to start rating. But this thing as a brand new model, like literally nearly brand new, like in the winter of 2023 update is when this thing got added to the game. This thing's very new as terms of model. It's 2008. Sounds pretty good. Let's listen to it start. Quite quiet. Honestly, doesn't have that much gray trim or black trim. Can't really say if it's super would burn out because we're in the rain. But the only thing that I find downsides with most of Volkswagens is that they don't have automatic headlights, which is kind of a bummer for me I love using automatic headlights. They're probably one of my most required features. I don't know. Is he following me? Well, anyway, that's the most required feature that I would have on any of my cars. Well, I guess I've got to deal with this first. So I'll be back once I've dealt with this. So guys, he's gone. He literally just shot at me. We didn't even do any really real stuff, but that was I like this car, although I would choose the next Volkswagen on this list over this, which is going to be a sedan, but that's later. So everybody, next vehicle on this list is a 2003 PT Cruiser Chrysler FT Stroller 3-door. This is I honestly don't hate the way this looks. Not the newest model ever, but still looks pretty good. Holds up pretty good. Okay design. Listen to it start. Honestly, doesn't sound too bad. No automatic headlights again, but this one's a 2003, so you can kind of expect that. Kind of looks like an egg. Should have been doing a blinker test on all these cars, but there's the blinkers. A little bit laggy occasionally. Yeah. This car, I wouldn't choose this car, but this is for those people who like having the strange car in the neighborhood, I guess you could say. It's pretty fast, but other than that, I would not recommend this car. It's not much better than it's not even better than the other Volkswagen we checked out earlier. And so let's move on to the next car. So guys, now we are on to the sedans category, and the first sedan we have here under $5,000 is a 2000 Bullhorn Dash RT. I like this car. I like it a lot. It's got about the same quality model as the PT Cruiser. No 3D headlights, but no super old stuff either. Like, just a mid mesh. But this thing, I would take this thing for for quite a few reasons. This thing isn't my favorite, but it's on the top 10. Here are the lights, brake lights, all that. But let's listen to this start. Remember, get the RT trim. Now it's quiet when you're just driving it. A little bit long. It's got a good amount of pickup, which is the reason that I want to show you this. This thing, I love the burnout, the way this thing burns out. It's a front wheel drive, but it does a front wheel drive burnout easily. And I just find it so cool when it's not raining. But, so that's this car. Another like different car. It kind of looks like a fish. That's what it reminds me of. Like just a dead fish. And let's move on to the 2008 Volkswagen Glide S. And this I would definitely choose over the this one if you really want that one, you can. I think I got custom rims on this one. That's why it looks so good. But this is literally the base model, and look at how clean this thing looks. This looks like a mid-trim model. Love this car. Love this car. And it handles pretty good. I love this color. Let's listen to it start. Quite quiet. L for headlights, for blinkers. Quite fast. This is definitely on my that's a little bit close. It handles pretty good. Let's see, does it do a burnout? Yeah, it does. This is probably on my top 5 cars in this list. And let's move on to the 2012 Durant Vince L. So this is basically, it's like a Chevy Impala, I think. Let's listen to it start. I got the black because the black trim and stuff. Those wheels are original, but this car I love. I have a version of this car that I love, this TL Hybrid, but this version is under $5,000. Handles pretty well. It's not a hybrid, but I just like it. And I think this is also on my top 5. Just because of the other version, this puts it on its top 5. It's not super fast or anything. It's kind of a boring car. It looks really good though, which is, at least in my opinion, this thing looks amazing. It doesn't really do a burnout, but blinkers. We already saw the headlights. So let's move on to the 2007 Falcon Prime LX, which is a Crown Victoria, and as another option, 2007 fancy version. It's not Lincoln, it's their other brand of the Crown Victoria. So this one is a little bit older of model. Like, it's still got the good, as you can see, the third brake light's kind of an old model, but the headlights are really a downside to this version, to this brand. That's why I would definitely recommend, if you're getting this car, to get the Crown Victoria. And for some reason this seats one more person. But this is what it looks like. Great model. Blinkers. It doesn't do a burnout, I don't believe, at least for my, oh, it does. I'm not sure if it does, but this one This is the LX, and I like this. It's a little bit big and heavy. It's kind of like a boat. I'm from somewhere where it snows, so I personally would not get this because it's rear-wheel drive. But if you're somebody who likes rear-wheel drive Crown Victorias, this is definitely a good first vehicle or first upgrade. So yeah, that's kind of a pair. So now let's move on to the 2009 Mitsubishi. I don't know what this actually is, so I'm just gonna call it Mitsubishi Honor. I got the FE trim. You could also get, I think it's the LE trim or something like that. I'll show it up on screen. But this is I don't like the looks of this car. It's got a good model. No outdated lights or stuff. Doesn't do burnout. I don't like it because the only part that's really outdated is the grill's just like a picture, and I don't like it because one of my other friends had it as their first car, so it's just kind of ruined it for me. But yeah, I can't really recommend this. This is under $5,000 if you really want it, but I would not recommend. So now let's move on to the 2002 Western Wendigo S Joey. And the first thing that this has over, I think, all the other ones, except for maybe the Outback, is that it can tow stuff. And it tows stuff great. So here's a quick look at the actual car itself. This one was added recently, so it's got all new lighting. I've actually used this one as one of my personal cars for a while. Like, I've actually been using it. It's pretty quiet. I was gonna say it's not the most meaty startup, but you don't need that. And there is one other truck coming up, or maybe a couple others that can actually tow, but this one is like not popular at all. Not many people know that you can get this for $5,000. And it's really fast. I forget if it's rear wheel drive or front wheel drive. Let's double check that. Okay, it's rear wheel drive, but let me show you towing a trailer with this. So for this test, I'm going to spawn it with this. There. Now, let's tow this trailer. See, it handles it with ease. It tows stuff so well, and it honestly off-roads decent too. Yeah, and overall, I like this. It's got a little bit more, it's got quite a bit of body roll. It's good at off-roading. It's got quite a bit of power. It looks good, in my opinion. And this is probably my favorite SUV out of this whole SUV section. Now, let's move on to the 2003 Ford Escapes. So I have two of them. The first one is the XLS trim. And neither of these have hitches. But pretty new model. This one's like literally the basic of the basic. Pretty new model. All good, and like tail lights, brake lights and stuff. Has high beams, which look really good. But the reason I bought two of them is because I don't like this trim. It's too slow. Actually, I take that back. It's quite fast, but when you or it's decently fast, not quite fast. But when you compare it to our next trim, it's like super slow. And it's good at off-roading. Somebody had this exact car in real life. It's like it broke down, but that exact Grand Caravan. And then the XLT is what I would recommend. First off, better wheels. Chrome grille. Not much on the exterior. It doesn't look much different. But listen to it start. That actually kind of sounds worse, but this thing is so much better. look at how much faster it is. It doesn't do the same burnout, but it's so much faster. It's good at off-roading. Can't tow trailers, but honestly, this is probably one of my top 10. Whoa. And yeah, that one. This one's it. Definitely get the XLT trim. And let's move on to the 2006 Honda Pilot base model. Now you can get this for $5,000, and this was actually the car that started this whole video idea, and also a off sale Impala that one of my friends had in their account. But this has 255 horsepower. It's all-wheel drive. It's amazing at off-roading. You can get a trim with a trailer hitch for $10,000, but the only thing this is lacking is the trailer hitch, and I'd say for half the price, it's worth it. Doesn't look the best, but I like this color, and let's listen to it start. You have to keep in mind that this is probably my favorite because it's such good value. It's all-wheel drive. It doesn't do a burnout. I don't think it needs to. Headlights look amazing. Blinkers, all that stuff, brake lights. And then I'll prove that it's all-wheel drive by trying to flip it. Yeah, I'll do that at the end of the episode. But this is probably gonna be I'll have my most recommended vehicle at the end. And that's definitely no, I don't know. I haven't decided quite yet. So let's move on to the 2004 Falcon. It's basically is a Ford Explorer Sport Track. This is the XLS 4-door. You could get the XLS 2-door for less, but I think the 4-door looks more realistic. I've never seen a 2-door version of this. Okay, on the mesh grill, a little bit meh. It's got a trailer hitch, it can tow stuff. Blinkers, headlights. Let's listen to it start up. Not a bad car. If you like trucks and you want, actually, never mind, I shouldn't say that. But if you like this car, this truck in particular, then get it. Let's tow something. Let's tow the trailer again. I haven't tried if this can off-road or anything. It's decently fast. Can definitely tow quite easily. What is going on? Yeah, so pretty decent car. There are quite few trucks. But that was the first of the truck section, I believe. Now let's move on to the 1971 Chevy 1500 L1500 292. So this is like an older truck. This literally came out in the recent Greenville update, so it's brand new. Really good model. There's brake lights, blinkers, headlights. Let's start it up. And it tows a trailer. It doesn't have the most power, but if you're, I kind of like it because it's a classic, but it's not really the best, like, normal vehicle. I just like it because it's a classic. I think I tested it in off-roads okay, and so that's the truck section, and let's move on to my favorite vehicle. Okay guys, so we have a three-way tie for my favorite vehicles. The first one is the 2008 Volkswagen Glide S with the those aren't custom rims, the silver pitch 5-spoke. This is the best small car in my opinion. Like over sedan, hatchbacks, and all that stuff, this is my favorite. It doesn't look like a base model. It's quite fast. It handles amazing. Yeah, so that's gonna be my favorite if you want a small car. And then the other two are both SUVs. The first SUV that I really like is the 2002 Western Wendigo S Joey. This one I like because you can tow and it is quite fast. And I just like it, and it looks cool. Handles pretty good, quite a bit of body roll, but I think that looks cool. And then probably the one I would recommend the most, which is the number one. It went 2005 or 2006 Honda Pilot, which has the Shinoka Chief name base model. This is all-wheel drive, whereas that last one was rear-wheel drive. This one can't tow stuff, but it's just an amazing car. It's good on fuel. I was actually able to make the money back from this car in literally half an hour, so that's speaking for all the cars. If you go 70 miles an hour just driving around the map with on work job, like a job you don't have to, the gray jobs, these. And then that's it for this video. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Stay tuned for the next one, and I'll see you next time. Bye.